right. Waking up in the dream. Time to get excited. I'm excited to bring this transmission forth. It's my morning in Thailand, 9 a.m. on Tuesday. I'm in the future a little bit. And for anybody that's not excited right now and is experiencing struggle, fear, doubt, worry, or whatever, I invite you to come and join us and hang out as I share some of this stuff that's really near and dear to my heart, and allow some of this stuff to just be open to it. Just be open to it, even if it seems like nothing you're doing is working, everything's against you, the world's falling apart. I can promise you, I've been there a million times, and right now, everything is showing up to shift us out of thousands of years of being in this 3D matrix. It's a very exciting time. It's a little bit, it can be a little bit intense, but I'm going to bring you my best of the tools that I share in the book, Waking Up in the Dream, with the people that I journey with one-on-one and that I use every single day. And all I invite you to do, if you're having a difficult time, is to simply be open. Just use this mantra that's really life-changing for me of, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? You don't have to believe it. As my teacher, Don Miguel Ruiz, told me, don't believe me and don't believe yourself. You know, tune in to what your intuition is telling you. And yeah, so let's dive in and go for a journey here. I've switched my weekly Facebook Lives. I'm now going to do the first one on Monday, which it's Monday in the States right now. So I'm going to do it on Monday and Thursdays instead of Tuesdays and Thursdays, because they were a little bit bunched up. This gives me a little bit more time to digest and come up with, you know, stuff that I feel is valuable. So make a note of that, or if you're supposed to be here, you'll catch me on Facebook. So, and also this is a Q&A. So if anybody has any questions about anything that's coming up, not about conspiracy facts, which we know they're facts, we know what's going on out there, and just about tools, about inner healing, clearing, dismantling limiting beliefs, removing shame, guilt, stepping into our unlimited power. And we truly are unlimited. And I don't know that many people that play with that word. And I just scratched the surface of it myself. Unlimited. What does it truly mean? It means that anything you can think of already exists on a timeline. And don't let your mind tell you anything different, because the belief system is a very, very tiny and limiting prison. It really is. I'm not saying every one of your beliefs is keeps you in a prison, but for the most part, the belief system is a tiny, tiny little prison that the ego or the protection system has chosen to hold on to. And in so many cases, anything that challenges that belief system or touches on an unhealed wound or trauma triggers somebody, and they get triggered, they react, they go into judgment, anger, shame, guilt, whatever it is. And that just keeps them looping and stuck in the lower vibrational 3D timelines. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to get excited as possible. And again, if you're not excited and you have any questions at all, there are no stupid questions. There's no judgment in here. This is how we support each other and grow. And so I'm just going to wing it like I always do. Have some good ginger tea here. And it's been an exciting morning already. And I wasn't going to do the show because I had so much going on. And I'm like, okay, just postpone it. And I'm like, Because whenever I don't postpone it and I dive into it, even if I'm not sure if I have it all figured out, what am I going to say? Which is the mind's programming of, I need to be good enough. And, you know, obviously I want to deliver something of high value, because anybody that's investing their time in watching this or joining in and co-creating this energy that we have on these calls, it's important to me to deliver something of value. So I'm grateful for the people that are on here. I'm very grateful for the people that share this to anybody that they feel may benefit. So let me go into my page really quick on my Facebook page and refresh it. I can see any questions. And then we're going to dive into some of the topics here. And let's focus on accelerating our abilities to manifest, because that's what it's all coming down to. Understanding that we are creating our reality with our thoughts, our words, our beliefs, and then the emotional frequency, vibration, and excitement, or lack of, that we put behind it. And so let me pull up my page here so I can see any questions. So let me go into my page. Okay, here we go. Great. Hey, Virginia. Great to see you. Okay. So, does everybody here, this might be a silly question, but a lot of people don't do this. Do you consciously and intentionally create your reality first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up out of the sleeping dream? This is super, super, super key and completely life-changing, completely. What happens with many people, I'm not going to say most of us because words are powerful, and I don't want to create that reality or continue to create that in anybody's reality. Hey, Virginia, great to see you. So when I first was invited to begin to consciously and intentionally create my reality first thing every morning, I had to practice it. And I actually, the way that I really got it going to where I did it every single day was to set an alarm on my phone and a reminder. And so if I had to go to a JOB or whatever I had to do, I would set my alarm for at least an hour earlier to wake up earlier. And if I needed to, I'd go to bed an hour earlier. But the value and the life-changing act of becoming present as soon as we wake up out of what we call the sleeping dream, because we're dreaming all the time. We're dreaming right now. Isn't that fun and cool? Even if that throws your mind for a little loop, like, wait a minute, we're dreaming right now. I don't know if I can control that. You know, all the programming of needing to be safe. And it's really, really powerful to observe that, to be the conscious observer and go, oh, isn't that interesting? Wow. Isn't that interesting that wanting to feel safe? Hey, Linda, great to see you. It's my morning here, but good evening to you. Yeah, I'm in the future. It's Tuesday here in Thailand. But isn't it interesting that the protection mechanism comes up so much, and so many of us, including myself, when we think about our reality or our abundance or lack thereof, or our safety or what we are manifesting, it's interesting how the mind has been trained for thousands of years, if not longer, to focus on what's wrong or what could go wrong instead of all the exciting, incredible possibilities and high vibrational timelines that we can pull in simply by giving them our focus, our attention, and then a high vibration behind it, which my favorite word is excitement. Excitement is the highest magnetic force that attracts things to us that I know of. If you have a favorite word like love or gratitude or whatever, those are very high vibrational as well. But isn't it interesting that if you wake up in the morning and you do not consciously go into bringing yourself into 0 point, and by 0 point, I mean realizing while your head's still on the pillow, I just woke up and I have another day in this reality. What a blessing. And even if you wake up and you had bad dreams and the thoughts start running right away, here's the key. Take some slow breaths. I put my hand on my heart every morning when I wake up, and then I smile because I know, number one, that raises my frequency. I've trained myself to do it automatically, and you can too, real easy. You can master this in a few days. And once you see the power of what it does and how the synchronicities and the magic and miracles start to show up in your reality, but they're not magic and miracles, they're the law of frequency and vibration. And since we are walking, talking, breathing magnets, the most valuable thing that we will ever do is to become consciously aware of where is my frequency right now, and practice monitoring it all throughout the day. And so when little children, before they get squashed in the school system, which is crumbling and dissolving as we speak, which is great, they have an imagination. And the little children, they understand, even without thinking about it, unlimitedness. And as we become older and older and older, and we get programmed in the school system and religion and science and all this fake history and all this stuff, we begin to take on a belief system so that we can navigate through this dream in the least resistant way. And it's just natural because it's a survival instinct. However, children don't have any limitations. And so when they go into creating their reality, they just see it, think it, feel it, and they're excited about it. There are no no's in their mind. There aren't any, you can't do that. So what we're doing here with these tools is we're playing with, keyword playing, not working, not trying, not struggling. That's all 3D programming. We're flowing, we're playing, we're getting excited, we're in gratitude, we're learning, we're asking the deeper questions like, what is this trying to show me? What is this trigger or judgment trying to show me about me? And then we're just adjusting our frequency as we go. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And, you know, these are the tools to do it. They're the simplest way I've ever found to do it. And anybody can do it, including children. Because I have children that go through my course with their parents. And they're like on it. They get it. There's no resistance. So the children are saying things like, I'm flying on a rocket ship. I'm hanging out with the fairies. And it's more likely that there's fairies and all these elementals that some people can see. I don't necessarily see them, but I definitely see the dragonflies and the butterflies and the bumblebees and these incredible flowers. And I live in Thailand where it's a magical plant earth fest every single day. You can't even take it all in, and it's all there for me. The flowers aren't blooming for themselves. They're in my dream for me. And when we finally begin to tune into the magic of this and get excited and grateful, boom, 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 we start attracting and magnetizing in more like frequency, timelines, abundance, people, events. And then once we start to see that it's actually working, then we're like, all right, now I have a formula. So again, the formula we're talking about is as soon as you awaken from the sleeping dream, and if anybody has any questions about this, please pop them in, because once one person asks a question, everybody in the comments starts going, oh, okay, it's safe in here. Let's talk, let's commune, boom, 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 boom. So, you know, I'm just talking to Jeff right now. I'm reminding myself so I don't forget this stuff. So if anybody else benefits, great. But if you have any questions, there are no stupid questions, and any question actually opens up this whole field for everybody. So whoever wants to be the first one to get it going, feel free. So we're laying on our pillow. We just realized we woke up out of the sleeping dream. We know this stuff works, and we're going to play with it. So we begin to take slow breaths, which stops the mind from running. Whatever I got to do today, I got to get up, I got to put on a pot of coffee, I got to get the kids ready for school. I've only got a half hour to get in the shower before I got to, whatever it is. Those are the automatics. That's a given. You're going to handle whatever it is that you need to handle. However, when we use our breath, to become consciously aware, and we drop down into our heart right here. This is the key. This stops. And now we get into this place we call 0 point, where we're not in the future, we're not in the past, we're just here right now. Now we're smiling because we know this works, or we're trusting, hey, whatever Jeff said, I'm going to give it a try because it seems like it's working for him or whatever. I appreciate his energy. I feel like he's coming from the heart. So we smile, and what that does is that relaxes every cell in our body. And we begin to love on our cells, all these trillions of cells that have been loving on us unconditionally ever since we've been in the womb, beating our heart, purifying our blood, trillions and trillions of things happening without us having to even think about it. The mind can't even process the magnificence of what's going on in every moment with this incredible gift. And we are the most incredible one of them things that was ever created. The human being is the most fascinating, incredible vehicle for creation and experience. So we're loving on our body, we're raising our vibration, we're smiling, we're breathing to get really clear, and then that's when we envision our ideal reality. The abundance, the incredible people, the health, the animals, traveling, playing concerts in front of thousands of people, whatever it is that you desire, but you see it is here now, already now, never, ever, ever in the future. It's okay to have a plan. Okay, in the next 30 days, I'm going to do this or that or whatever. However, we are taking advantage here of the subconscious, and the subconscious is the creator of our reality. And the subconscious, a lot of people think, oh, it's really difficult to, deal with the subconscious because I don't understand it. There's really only one simple thing that I have found that is completely valuable to understand about the subconscious, and that is the subconscious only takes direct commands. It's real simple. Your desire is either here right now or it's not. So this brings me to spell words. The spelling language. I'm from the United States, so I speak English. Words cast spells. And the people that set up the English language and taught us these words, they knew what they were doing. Okay? And so we must be very aware, and it's really simple. I take people through a 30-day journey. They get on the first call with me and they say, I'm trying, I need, I want, I hope, I wish. It's difficult, it's hard. And they're programming their subconscious to create that reality. So the spell words that we are going to eliminate, and you can write these down. And the beauty of this transmission is you can always come back and watch it again. So you don't have to get it right now. It'll be on my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening, and it'll be on my page. But this is really key because the majority of people that I journey with have no idea that they're just using these spell words at 9:22 a.m. I love it. I don't look up at the clock that often because it's in my upper right, but when I do, I get a sign. Does it mean anything? Not necessarily. However, it means something to me because I play with the numbers. And when I play with the numbers, they play back with me. I know a lot of you know this, but I'm acknowledging this to show you that we're in the field right now and the stuff's happening when we get consciously aware, get excited, and raise our vibration and envision anything we desire. It's here now. Okay, so spell words real quick to eliminate: want, wish, hope, need, try, difficult, hard. Well, those are the main ones. And so many people just use them over and over and over. And they don't realize that they are instructing the subconscious that it's not here yet. It's not here yet. It's not here yet. It's difficult. It's hard. I'm trying. Oh, okay. You're going to keep trying. Oh, it's okay. It's difficult. Well, we'll make it difficult for you. We'll make it hard. That's the reality that we'll create for you because we're only taking direct orders from you. And whatever you feed us is what we bring back to you in a timeline in your reality to mirror your belief and your frequency and what you're saying and thinking and believing. So, Conscious awareness is the only game in town. That and love, you know? So that's why I love doing this, because many years ago, I was one lost mofo. You know, I was a judgeaholic. I grew up in Catholic school. I was tossed into private Catholic schools in second grade, and every day was Judgment Day. The nuns were pissed off. They were angry. And I was like, even when I was in the second grade, my intuition told me there's something really wrong here. And so even though I was in that school system up until ninth grade, and I was also an altar boy in the Catholic Church, which is quite an experience, but that was part of my soul contract. I chose that. I chose that so I could see the deception of religion. And if you're into religion and it's working for you, don't get triggered. You know, I've done my research, and it's all pretty much manipulated to get you to give your power to something outside yourself. And so that's my personal experience. So really, really, really key to begin to track our frequency and our words. And so just be aware of these words. You can feel words when you say, I need, I try, I want, I wish, I hope. Those are words that are instructing your subconscious that your desire is not here yet. So it's very valuable to play with this stuff. And on my YouTube channel, there's hours and hours and hours and hours of me going over the tools in the book for inner healing, dismantling the subconscious beliefs, limiting beliefs, childhood trauma. You know, I journey with people that have been through some deep, 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 deep stuff. You know, and it's an honor that they trust me. I mean, rape, molestation, MK Ultra, people murdered in their family. And it can be difficult. But I can also tell you that the people that have chosen the most challenging paths on this journey are the ones that go on to really be able to hold the most compassionate space for others. And yeah, those are my heroes. Those are my heroes for sure. So, yeah. So let me go through these, see if there's... Hey, Randall, great to see you. Linda, Roberto. Yeah. So, going to pop into my notes here real quick. Oh, I want to say one thing, and let me post a link. Over the years, I've had private Facebook groups. And I have a private group called the Waking Up in the Dream Activation Group. And I'm going to reopen it. It just got to be too much. I had too many groups and too many things going on with clients and everything else. And yeah, it just became a little bit overwhelming. So now I'm going to streamline it down, and I'm opening up the group again. And the group is going to focus on the tools in the book, going to focus on inner healing, manifestation, and co-creating these new earth timelines, moving out of the old 3D lower vibrational triggers of judgments, fears, doubts. And yeah, that stuff, I'll be careful with my words here. That stuff may come up again from time to time. We're also clearing and healing for ourselves, but we're also doing it for the collective. So I'm going to post the link in here for the group. And if you'd like to join, you're welcome to join. The focus again is going to be specifically on these tools, but it's a great group of people. A lot of the people have gone through my 30-day one-on-one transformational mentorship, and they're just incredible, incredible people. So there's the link in the comments for anybody that would like to join. And so if there's any other questions, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Randall. If there's too many groups for Linda. Well, I promise in this group, it's very focused, and I'm going to put a lot of energy into... The reason I'm opening it back up again is because I do these Facebook Lives, and I do 2 a week. Sometimes I do 3. And then, you know, I post them to my YouTube channel, and I don't really have the time to go back to all of them. So a lot of times I've noticed there's some really great questions and comments that come up, but I don't see them later. So the best way to really do that for me and to serve as many people as I can and to get these tools out there to accelerate the shift is if I have this group and then I go and check in, then I can see the questions and everybody's in there kind of collectively holding space and learning and growing together. So I'm going to give it another go, and I'm excited about it because I'm going to approach it from a little different, streamlined approach now. And I'm also in a completely different space than where I even was a year ago. And I know that most of you are too. So if you'd like to join, you can join. I'm not going to be sending people messages or spam or any of that stuff. I do have a monthly newsletter that I send out, usually with a powerful video and some tools and some offers of upcoming events and stuff. I'll post that link in there. Well, it's actually, you can just go to my website, portal2awakening.com. And I don't spam people. I'm just posting this in here. I don't spam people. In fact, it takes a lot of energy just to put an email together because I really intend that it's valuable because, you know, I get hundreds of emails a week, if not more. So there's a link to that. If you want to go, a pop-up will pop up and you can just sign up to join if you want. So if there's any questions, feel free to pop them in. I'm going to go into my notes here. And yeah, so one of the things I was talking about a few minutes ago was I was a judgeaholic. I was trained to be a judgeaholic in the Catholic Church. I thought that pointing out everything that was wrong was how we fixed things. In a way, putting our awareness on things is a way to shift them, absolutely. But I became a judgeaholic, and because we are walking, talking, breathing magnets, I just started to see more and more of everything that I was judging. So it wasn't providing any freedom in my life at all. And it took me a while to figure that out. And it wasn't really until I met Miguel in 2001. And then the number one thing that he really got me to see that changed my entire life was that my belief system wasn't even mine. Our belief systems aren't even our own. Every one of my beliefs came from outside myself. My parents, my grandparents, the school system, the television, the news, Catholic school. And when I saw that my beliefs weren't even mine and that nobody else's beliefs were really theirs, but everybody, including myself, was reacting, getting triggered, going into judgment, anger, resentment, and everything else, by anything that challenged their belief system, the light bulb went off huge. It was like the biggest aha moment, one of them that I've ever had. And I went, oh my God, almost everybody is controlled by their little tiny belief system, which is actually a prison. It's so tiny, even if you're super smart, if you think you are, your beliefs wouldn't even fit on the head of a pin. There is so much out there beyond what we know. It would blow your mind for 1,000,000 lifetimes. And so realizing that the belief system is a very limiting prison. And if the word prison triggers you, just observe that and go, oh, isn't that interesting? I'm triggered. Because it doesn't obviously mean that every single one of your beliefs is a prison. Yeah, absolutely. However, I only kept 2 beliefs. One is love is the answer in every situation. That doesn't mean I ever accept any abuse. I have a very powerful mantra that I share with everybody, that anything less than love is unacceptable in my life and my relationships. I give people one opportunity. If they get triggered or they project or whatever, I'll just calmly mirror them back. And if they want to, calm down and, have a dialogue, it's cool. But if they come back and they're like, yeah, then I'm like, out, come back another time, or, don't come back at all. Anything less than love is unacceptable. And I don't have to be triggered about it. Because if I'm triggered about it, that means that I still have a wound that can be activated. So back to judgments. Biggest addiction on the planet by far. Way bigger addiction than drugs or alcohol or anything else. You know? And some people will come at me or they will proclaim, well, we have to judge. And I wrote a whole chapter in the book around judgment and, more importantly, how to dismantle it. Because again, I was a judgeaholic. Speaking for myself, okay? I was on it. I'm a super loving guy. I'm an empath, but I was like, how come all this shit's wrong? Aren't we supposed to be here loving each other? You know? And so, yeah, everybody's a mirror, everybody's a teacher. You know, and when I finally realized that I had to forgive everybody, beginning with myself in order to heal, I also realized that I couldn't leave anybody out of the equation. And the first thing that popped into my mind when I realized that I had to forgive everyone in order to free myself, otherwise, who was holding the lack of forgiveness, low vibrational frequencies, which again are magnetic? Jeff. So I was like, look, that means I got to forgive the pedophiles and all the people in the Vatican that are sacrificing children and harming people and in the pharmaceutical industry and poisoning food and all these soulless corporations. Fuck, really? I got to do that to free myself? Okay, let's do it. You either do it or you don't, and you understand how this reality works. And as my teacher, Miguel, told me, this is 20 years ago. I said, Jeff, everyone is you. Everyone is you. I was like, WTF? What the hell? And the more that I play with that, and the more that anybody studies and realizes that this whole dream is just happening inside your head, it's not even real. Or is it? That's for you to decide. I mean, I can feel my arms. I can wrap my arms around a tree. I can smell the air. I can smell the scents. I can taste the food. I can feel somebody when I hug them. It's deep. It's a deep dream. So what I focus on, what are the simplest tools for healing, inner healing, and consciously creating my ideal reality? And inner healing must be done, because if it's not, and that's the first part of the book, and it's actually really easy to do. And if that triggers you, take a breath and go, all right. That really, I didn't like that when he said that, because I've been wounded for years and I've been struggling and I've been in toxic relationships and I've been abused by my parents and I've had horrible things happen to me. I understand. I've been there. I've been suicidal many, many times in my 20s and 30s because the pain was so intense. And that's what drove me to go deeper. And luckily, I decided not to check out. Yeah, that's heavy. So, inner healing, it must be done. And when I say it's easy, it's easy. Yeah, we might shed some tears on a call together. You know, feeling is healing. And you may need to kneel down in front of your mattress, your bed, and stack some pillows and pound out the anger or whatever you may be holding, resentment, shame, guilt, or hatred, the lowest vibrational frequency. But that stuff needs to move. And you obviously want to do it where you're not hurting yourself or anybody else. But it's really, really key to forgive everyone. Because if we don't, we're the ones holding the lower vibrational frequencies. And remember, we're a magnet. So when I journey with people and a man or a woman goes through my course with me and says on the first call, why do I keep attracting the same abusive people in life or relationships? I'm like, okay, let's look at what happened to you most likely when you were a child. What happened? What happened? Because there's a belief underneath there. There's a wound. And it's easy to get to, I'm telling you. And if that triggers you, It's not my intention, but it's something to look at, because I guide people through this almost every day of the week. And I'm not saying that with any ego. I've been doing this stuff in my heart for over 20 years, and I had a master teacher. And I'm still learning every day, which is the key. One of my number one mantras is, I know nothing. I don't need my ego to tell me everything that I know and all the tools and all the, courses that I've gone through and all this shit. No, I stay in my heart. I know what I know, and I know that these tools work. And I'm all about the fastest, easiest way. That's it. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this stuff. So when I talk about healing is easy, it's so much easier to actually feel what we've been feeling and holding on to and getting in touch with that and letting it out. It usually almost always happens in one session, maybe a couple. Maybe the memory will come back, for a little bit, but then you're just like, okay, that's not happening to me now. I've still got a little piece of it, and there's still a little bit to forgive. And one of the keys is, and this is huge, it's a huge piece of the simplicity of it. And I'm not telling anybody on here that you have to believe what I believe. Again, question everything. But if you're open to the fact or the possibility, let me be careful with my words, that you had a soul contract that you agreed to before you came down here, and you agreed to all of it. All of it. Your parents, your grandparents, your boyfriends, people, anything that happened to you, even if it was horrible, horrible. And your rational mind says, I would have never signed up for this. I said that 10,000 times. I said, I would have never signed up for the shit I had to go through. But we did. We did. And if you can be open to that, then you can go, okay, what's the gift here? What is the gift here? As I heal this, I forgive, and I clear this for myself and the collective. And that's the key. And once you are able to forgive and understand that it was part of your soul contract, you can clear that stuff, and it no longer has any hold over you anymore. But if you constantly have people showing up in your life that are attacking you, or they're narcissists, the big word now, then there's a reason why you're attracting that. And it's nothing to go into shame or self-judgment about. It's about asking, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? Because you're a magnet. And if you're attracting that over and over, there's a reason, there's a belief, there's a wound or a trauma or something. And these are the tools to clear it quickly. Any questions around any of this? Any questions around any of this? Love thy neighbor. Yeah, well, you got to definitely love yourself first. That's why inner healing is the key to this whole thing. Yep. Oh, well, come and do it. I'd love to do it. I'm honored. Because here's what happens. Check this out. Check out how the ego is so judgmental. I get on the first call with somebody. They start to tell me their story. I know right where to go because I'm trained to do it. I've done it with thousands of people. Okay. They tell you basically what happened if you're paying attention. And they don't even need to know exactly what happened, the event. It's just the feeling, and they're holding it. So you hold space for them, you guide them into it. And as soon as they feel safe and you say a couple things that allow them to feel it, the tears start rolling. And what do the majority of people do immediately? They reach up, they wipe it away, and they do what? They apologize. I'm like, don't apologize. There's nothing to apologize. We're healing this shit. It's beautiful. And this is, people have been taught to go into shame around crying, which is, crying is like an orgasm. It is one of the most healing things that anybody will ever do. If you're using it to be manipulative, like a little child learns to cry so they get attention, well, of course, that's a program of manipulation. I'm talking about healing as adults here. You must feel it. You must get that out of your system safely and gently. And this is what I love doing. So yeah, if you want to come and do the journey, reach out to me, send me a private message, and I'd love to do it. But understand this program of, people have so much shame around crying. It's a huge program that, for lack of a better word, the dark winds, I call them, have put on us shame and guilt. Why? Because they're super low frequencies, and they'll just keep us stuck in the 3D matrix, looping and attracting the same low vibrational timelines and outcomes over and over. So healing is the only game in town. And what happens is so many people get so busy with just surviving that they really don't go back and heal, and they weren't taught how. This is what will be taught in the New Earth school system to the children. This is going to be part of the program. Maybe not necessarily my book. I don't know. I'm already playing with some people on getting this into schools, but I don't know if I want it to consume my whole thing, But these are going to be the tools. And when I talk about this, I'm talking about teaching a child what an emotional trigger is, teaching a child what the belief system is, and that question them all. And also how to consciously and excitedly manifest our reality. Nobody needs to go through 12 to 16 to 20 years of school. It's complete bullshit. It's a complete program. The current school, most of them, is a programming factory to squash your imagination. And all they do is teach you what to think. They don't teach you how to think. And that's intentional. And then they get you to pay. And if you want to be in the club of some of the satanic universities like Harvard, Yale, yes, they've all got satanic. I know this might trigger somebody, but let's deal with reality here, okay? Even if you're not aware and it's a little bit shocking, I know it's shocking because everyone that's good with an open heart would never even consider this stuff. But it's a reality. I've researched it and it's happening. But let's focus on the positive, okay? The point is, nobody ever again needs to go to school for 12 to 16 to 20 years so that they can join the club, be in debt, and then give up 65 of the best years of their life so that they can become what? Retired. It's another spell word. Means to recycle, tired. You know what that means. It's no mistake that that's why they named it that. They have to tell you what they're doing, okay? So we just observe. Once we get over being angry about it, we're like, okay, so these are the rules, then let's do it, all right? So no child is ever going to have to go through 12 years of school ever again. They learn what an emotional reaction is, how to consciously create their reality, how to follow their own passion and imagination. And then if they want to go take a class on learning how to do photography or gardening or, architecture or whatever, then they just do that. Completely different, completely out of the enslavement system. So this is what's happening. It's a great reason to get excited. And it's why I'm so huge on homeschooling. And I know a lot of people are in the system, so they're like, well, I can't homeschool my child because I've got a job and 2 cars and a house. Well, really? You could actually downsize. Oh, well, it's your choice. Excuses are excuses. And when it comes to the well-being of your child, I would never send my child into this current school system where they're trying to teach gender bending, manipulation, and it's the most diabolical. You couldn't even imagine this with a good heart. It's almost comical, but it's diabolical. And this whole system is collapsing as we speak. So it's a great thing. But we've all got the opportunity to make our own decisions. And I'm all for creating the New Earth school systems. Anybody have any questions? Any questions about anything I've spoken about? Manifesting your reality, doing the inner healing, creating your reality first thing in the morning, One thing I didn't cover, setting alarms on your phone. I have everybody that goes through the journey or the online digital course, which you can get and go through at your own time. And it's got PowerPoint trainings that'll show you the program that the ego does and how it tries to trick you in the belief system. You'll see it and you'll go, oh my God. And we can't dismantle a program unless we can see it. Once you see it, you're like, oh my God, almost everybody's running that same program. And now that you see it, it will have no more power over you. So that's available as well. For anybody that's interested, it's on the website. So any questions? Any questions? Let's check this out. What Elaine. I have beautiful and kind people in my life, but today a man came in and triggered so much fear of being killed so violently. Okay, so we'll all send Elaine a bunch of love right now, because that's kind of intense. So yeah. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that so authentically. I appreciate it. Yeah, so, let's look at the gift here, because it can be heartbreaking. But the beauty is that we are here now in 2022, and after thousands and thousands of years, we came here because we knew it was going to shift this time, and it's happening. And a lot of people, including myself, feel like, well, it's not happening quick enough. I've been seeing the programs for over 30 years, waiting and waiting for people to wake up. It's okay, though. It's happening. There's no such thing as time. Relax. Tune into, okay, it's heartbreaking, but I don't want to be holding heartbreaking. So let's go back to being excited. What can I create? What do I desire to pull into my reality right now? Right back to excitement, right back to excitement. And however long it takes you to process that and feel it fully, don't deny it. I'm not saying that, but come back to getting excited. Okay, I just felt that. So now what am I attracting? Oh, cool. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about that. I'm going to put on some incense. I'm going to go ground my feet in the garden. I'm going to go for a nature walk and check out all the trees and plants. I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to call a friend and have a conscious conversation. I'm excited. I'm going to really taste my incredible food and drink and fill it with the highest vibration of gratitude. I'm going to be in the shower just feeling the gift of all that water purifying and loving on me and raising my vibration. I mean, it's all about coming back to, are you excited right now? Are you excited right now? And tracking your frequency of every thought, word, and emotion all day long, and coming back to, being in gratitude as if today might be your last day. And the tools in the course get you to track, literally, you're tracking your frequency, your thoughts, your reactions all day long. You're not going to catch all of them, but at the end of the day, you fill out this simple sheet. It's a PDF form that comes with the book and the course. It's called the Daily Tracking Sheet. And you fill it out at the end of the day before you go to bed. It takes you 5 minutes. And you start to dismantle the automatics. And there's a couple questions in there about what came up for you today. And it's priceless. It's priceless. Yeah, it's incredible. And I love it. And I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful for people that come and, benefit from it and go through the course and purchase the book and come into the group. It's time. We're here. We're doing it. Look at this. I'm in Thailand. I'm in the future. It's just before 10 a.m. on Tuesday. And I'm talking into a little box through thin air to all these incredible people all over the world. And we're connected through frequency and like-minded vibrations. And so, how can it get any better than this? Do you see what's going on? Yeah, there's a lot of creepy, bad stuff where they're trying to hijack our DNA. Okay. It sucks. It's evil. However, you're aware of it. And you came here to hold the frequency for the others. And it's already done. It's already done. So celebration mode is in order. I can guarantee that. I can't prove it to you, but you can feel it. Okay? So the key is What am I allowing to affect my frequency and the vibration of my reality every day? Well, right now you can see that the majority of people that are affected, it's all about the monkey balls post or whatever the next variant is. It's such bullshit. It's the same repeated thing every single week. If you can't see it, you're either brain dead, no offense, or you just don't want to see it. You don't want to admit it because it's so scary that you can't believe that people would do this type of diabolical stuff. Okay? So the key is, if I'm feeling low or I'm feeling triggered, then what am I? Yeah, I know. I'm just winging it here. I got a couple memes that are, if I were to post them, I'd probably be in Facebook jail again. So I can't post them, but people are creative out there. It's great, you know? So the key is, where is my frequency? And if I'm triggered or I'm in judgment, catch it. Ask yourself the $1 million question. Okay, I'm triggered right now. Stop. Put your hand on your heart. Take a breath. Smile, because you know that relaxes every cell in your body. And ask the question, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? The ego will trick you and go, yeah, it's him or her or them or the government or blah, 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 blah. Frequency lowered, frequency lowered, frequency lowered. Trigger alert, hello, come back. Okay, feel it, but learn from it and go, oh, okay, there's still something to clear in me around judgment or projecting my unhealed wounds or whatever. And I'll tell you what, for a lot of us, it can be very difficult to admit that we still have wounds, because that sucks, because that makes us feel less than, and it doesn't make us feel like unlimited, sovereign, divine beings. It makes us feel shitty. Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I attract the most incredible mate in the world? Why am I not attracting abundance all the time? When all these people talk about abundance and it's everywhere. Because it's part of the belief system or part of the wound or agreement that you're holding still subconsciously. So if that's you, I invite you to grab a copy of this book or come do a mentorship with me or grab the digital course. And if you think I'm just trying to be Joe's salesman, I'm not. We live in a reality right now where we're exchanging energy. Money is part of it. However, if you're paying attention, you'll see that I give away all the tools on every single live I do. I don't hold back anything. I don't go, if you really want the tools, you got to sign up and put, no. And there's hundreds of hours of these videos on my YouTube channel. And I'll tell you what, I paid way over $100,000 to learn what I learned. And I had to figure out most of it myself over the last 25 plus years. And so it's amazing that I'm giving this all away in a way, if you're paying attention and you're taking notes. I mean, I know that many times we need to hear these things more than once, because when I used to sit in the 3-day dreaming weekends with Don Miguel Ruiz and the other Toltec teachers, I would sit there like the good little student. I'd go, that's really good. I need to remember that. That's really good. I need to remember that. And I might remember it, but in many cases, they didn't really teach me how to go in and undo the underlying subconscious belief. I had to figure that out on my own. And that's why I put it step by step by step in the book. And if you do it, you'll be able to do it fast, fast, fast. So all the tools are here. And it's interesting that if people don't become invested, either financially or like their life depends on it, it's almost like, well, that's free. So, I'm scrolling through Facebook while I'm listening to this. I know, I do it too. But if this resonates with you, I can promise you that these are the most life-changing tools I've ever found. And they're the simplest, because there's no fat, there's no fluff. If you do it, you'll see the results. Plain and simple. And it's just practice. That's all it is. Any questions? Any questions? Hey, Roberto, sun gazing is great. Yeah. Man, getting out in nature. I do it every single day. I talk to the flowers, the birds, the water buffalo, the animals, the dragonflies, just because I'm a little kid and it raises my vibration. I'm out here riding on a motorcycle, and I'm in the country and I'm just fascinated. I can't even take it all in. Wherever there's not concrete, there's either a beautiful purple lotus flower or a plant or, just magic coming out. And when you tune into that like a little child, your vibration goes up and you start to attract like frequencies. It's just, it works. That's all I can tell you. It works. So, any questions on anything? Nobody has a single question on manifestation, inner healing, spell words, consciously creating your reality? Any other challenges? Everybody here is good? No questions. Cool. You guys are rock stars. Okay, so I'm going to go into my notes here and jog my mind. Okay, so do we get that our judgments are about us? This is a big one, and this will trigger a lot of people. And also, I was clarifying earlier, now that I remember, that I've done posts around judgments before. And I've had people reply with, we have to judge. It's just part of our system. And I'm like, one, it's important to understand if you really want to dial in manifesting your preferred reality instead of attracting more low vibrational frequencies, it's very important to understand that there's a huge vibrational difference between a judgment, low vibration, and an observation. Judgment, observation. The difference is judgments come from the ego. They're triggered emotions, and behind them is the need to be right or to make someone else wrong. That's not being healed. That's projecting. An observation is, they're sacrificing children. That's pretty effed up. What can we do about that? Okay, raise awareness, send all kinds of energy to the children. Everything but becoming triggered. Now, if you get triggered and it springs you into action, that's one thing. But the person that wins in any type of, I don't even want to use the word WAR or battle, because that signifies resistance. That's all 3D. Awareness is where we're like, okay, let's use the tools of our energy, our focus, and our vibration. And yeah, if you need to go in and, arrest somebody or remove them for harming a child, I understand. I'm just talking about, in many cases, being the observer is the most, it's mastery. It's self-mastery. Yeah. Hey, Grant, great to have you join us. Cool, brother. And understand, and thank you for the reflection. I greatly appreciate it. I take that in fully. And also, along with the book and the daily tracking sheet PDF is going to be in there. There'll be a download in the book. Utilize the YouTube channel, youtube.com/portal to awakening, because you'll hear, if you can tolerate it, you'll hear me explain this stuff again and again, and it'll start to really sink in. It's a really powerful combination. So thank you for that. Okay. Questions? Okay, so again, judgments. The automatic reactor and the judger will have to relive those things over and over and over again until they figure it out. The conscious observer can go, I don't like that. I'm a little triggered about that. Okay, what's the best thing that I can do? I can envision a new reality. I can send energy to anyone that needs healing. I'm not above them. That's ego. I'm in the whole mix. And all this stuff is showing up in my reality to give me an opportunity to elevate my conscious awareness and move beyond these lower vibrating 3D matrix frequencies of judgment, fear, doubt, shame, guilt, projecting. And we're moving out of it. The energies that are coming into the planet right now, I mean, it's already done. It's just a matter of we must go through this. And I mean, we can get to the point where all of a sudden, boom, people talk about the solar eclipse, the blast, whatever. I don't know anything about that. If it happens, great. But until then, we practice observing our frequency, and we use these tools to monitor it. And if we have a judgment, a doubt, or a fear, or whatever, we can automatically feel that. And then we stop and we go, okay, here's something that's giving me an opportunity. My soul, which is eternally patient, it'll keep sending you the same lesson over and over and over. It doesn't care if it takes you a year or a million lifetimes, because in the soul's reality, there is no such thing as time. Boom, 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 boom. This stuff's happening, or it already happened, and we're just looping. We're experiencing this stuff. And it's a fascinating, fabulous journey when we begin to understand the rules of how we create our reality. Thoughts, words, beliefs, emotions, and frequency and vibration. It's the only game in town. All right. I want to thank everybody for staying on here. 101, an hour and 1 minute, 11 people. 12, we just had 11 comments. It was 101, 11, 11. Just playing with stuff here. But thank you, everybody, for being on here. And let's go a little bit deeper. Okay? And I also want to say thank you to everybody who is in my Facebook downline. I mean, I scroll through and I see the most incredible posts of the most wonderfully aware, kind-hearted people sharing wisdom after wisdom after wisdom. And it's amazing. It really, really is. I mean, I love Facebook. I'm very, very thankful to the CIA who created it to track everything we do. But all of those inversions are imploding right now. So to me, this is the greatest connection format out there. I've tried MeWe and Twitter and all these other things. None of them have the traction and the wonderful ability that Facebook has provided. So I'm very thankful and very grateful. And we utilize this to completely shift the dream of the planet. So high five to everybody. And so, any questions? You guys are all on it, huh? Do you understand that excitement, gratitude, and playfulness are the most powerful and magnetic frequencies of attraction? Do you understand? Thanks, Linda. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. Big, big love. Thank you for your energy and support. I know it's late for people on the East Coast. I think it's, I don't know what time it is. I think it's 11 p.m. Anyway, understanding how we're creating our reality. Is anybody on this call frustrated right now? Anybody on this call frustrated? Anybody have anything coming up that they would like to clear? Is it clear how to consciously and intentionally create and manifest your ideal reality? And if your mind is going, it's not here yet, and I've been doing everything in my power, then learn to trust in that. Because what I've learned is, if what I think that I desired isn't for my highest good, then it doesn't show up. And so I'm just like, okay, well, I've learned there must be a reason it's not showing up. So then I shift right back into, oh my God, I know that something even better is coming then. And I can go right back to being excited and in trust. And this is how we do it. And you know how I do that? Because I've practiced tuning into my frequency. And when my mind goes, yeah, but it's not happening yet, that's low vibrational. I can feel it. That's lack. That's not trust. And so as soon as I feel a lack or low vibrational frequency, I've trained myself with these tools to stop and go, okay, there's one. I can feel it. So I know this is a piece. This is getting my attention. And if it doesn't get my attention right now, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and come at me harder and harder and harder. And it might take another year or two to come back to get my attention again. Right? 10-10 here. I love it. 11-11 on the East Coast. Okay? So you getting that? You getting that around manifestation? Okay, this is a good one. I love this one. Okay? Because this is perfect. The difference between excitement and anxious energy. Okay? The way I explain this one is the difference between excitement and fear. And here's my take on it. It's the same exact energy. It just depends on what story you put on the energy and you choose to focus on. So again, I get anxiety. Sometimes I catch myself picking my nails. Like, what's up with that, Mr. Tools? I'm like, okay, there's something to clear here. At least I don't have, a big tumor inside me or anything else. So I'm running energy. Observe it, tune into it and go, okay, there's something coming up right now. And it's usually when I'm not doing anything and my mind's just running that the energies, because that's what the mind does. When I'm present and I'm playing guitar or I'm engaged in a conversation or I'm out in nature or whatever, I don't have that nervous energy. I'm focused on the present moment. So again, Linda, the difference between excited energy and anxious energy is noticing it and then going, okay, what am I feeling right now? Because there's a gift here. There's a message coming up. So let's be honest. We're not going to ignore that I feel anxious right now, or I'm really in fear right now. That was really a big hit on me. Okay, so use your breath, your number one tool, to come in and ground and let yourself know that you're safe. I love putting my hand on my body and my heart because then I can really feel and get in touch. And the more that I breathe slowly, the more I get calm and I come into my heart. If I let this run, it's just going to run because that's all it knows how to do. So the breath is the golden key. It's the gift. So then ask yourself, okay, I just got triggered. I just felt that. What is this trying to teach me? And then, like for me, playing guitar, I usually get nervous every time before I do a show or play. And part of it is self-judgment from a wound that happened to me when I was in third grade, when I was in the Catholic choir and we were practicing for a play. And I kind of like nodded off because it was super boring to me. Catholic school was a joke. I saw the program, but I had to go through it. And so I woke up and I blurted out, blah, 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 and nobody else was singing. And everybody laughed at me, 300 kids. And I felt so ashamed and so small. And that became like a wound. I don't ever want that to happen again. So when I notice that I have a little bit of fear, I go, okay, so I'm feeling this. So I know that it's excitement too. So let's change the story. And let's think about all the incredible things that'll happen if I turn it into excitement. So thank you for sharing that, because that's something that everybody can relate to. And it's very, very valuable. Yeah. Noticing the low frequency. Because if you don't notice it, you'll just justify it and go, fuck out them. No. Tracking our frequency is the most valuable, priceless thing we'll ever do. Ever. Oh, God bless you. I still need to go back and watch that so I can hear it, because I've just been having issues not having a delay in order to do live. So the future, near future goal is to do some sound healing meditations and take some people through some guided stuff. So thank you for that. That put some wind in my sails, and I'll go back and check that out. Yeah. Our breath is the key. It really is. Our breath is the key. And really, really, really tuning into the body. Any stuckness, any tightness, any pains. Really, this vehicle has been unconditionally loving us and serving us ever since we came out of the womb, and it asked for nothing in return. That is unconditional love. And it's the only thing I know that does it. That and Mother Earth. Mother Earth is just showering us with food and oxygen and energy and grounding and love and water and beauty and magnificence beyond anything we could have ever even imagined. Mind-blowing. And it's all doing it just to love on us. So amazing. Oh, I love you. One of my favorite ladies is on the call right now. Elizabeth Goodman. If you want to tune into somebody that is so in her heart, so wise, but humble and amazing, Elizabeth is in San Diego, where I'm from, and she's just golden. Big, big love to you, dear one. Love you so much. Okay, so any questions? I'll wrap this up here shortly because I know we've been on for 111 minutes. I love it. And Elizabeth Goodman pops on at 1:11. Yeah. You can't plan that, or can you? I don't know, but I sure do love it. All right, let me go over my notes. Anything I can cover? Okay. I just love that I know that somebody's life is going to be positively changed through something that they hear on this. And I don't say that with an ego or anything. I mean, again, I'm just talking to Jeff over and over and over so he doesn't forget. And if anybody else benefits, right on. I don't even know if there is anybody else out there. Okay? So practice mastering being in the state of already having anything you desire. Practice being in the state. First thing every morning, and then throughout the day. If you're just hanging out and you're like, oh, what can I do? Do I want to scroll through Facebook anymore? It's not a bad thing to do. But if you're out in nature and you go, hey, I always love to ask myself, what is my magnet tuned to right now? What is my magnet tuned to? Because whatever my magnet is tuned to, that's what I'm going to be magnetizing in or repelling if I'm in lack or anger or self-judgment or whatever. So super, super key. Hey, how are we notified when you're live? I'm not sure, but I do my weekly lives every Monday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, US, and 10 p.m. Eastern. So every Monday and Thursday, I got to think about it because it's my Tuesday and Friday because I'm a day ahead. I'm in the future. So yeah, and you can always go to my page if you want. It's great to have you here. So yeah, I just love sharing this stuff. Okay, so practice mastering being in the state of excitement and gratitude. And notice when you're not. You don't need to judge yourself. Just go, okay, let's shift back. Let's shift back. What do I do to shift? I find something to be grateful for. And even if you're in a very tough or challenging situation right now, you can begin to shift your reality and your magnet through finding the simplest thing to be grateful for. Well, let me find something. Fuck, I can't seem to find anything. What about my breath? What about my heartbeat? What about the fact that my body is performing trillions of functions right now. Just serve me and love me. What about the fact that I've got a computer or a phone or electricity or running water? Well, yeah, but fuck, I'm still not happy. Okay, well, let's go a little bit deeper. Why are you choosing to not be happy when the universe, the you, capital Y, capital O, capital U, you're creating all this, even if you don't want to accept it, and that might piss you off a little bit. I know it did me. When people told me this, this sucks. I would have never chosen to come to this planet. Well, now I know why I chose to come here, because it's the most incredible planet I could ever imagine. And we're here for the party, and it's happening. So if you're not happy, and if you're in a really tough, challenging situation, the way to get out is, the only way to get out is to begin to find things to be grateful for. And you can use a journal. You can write things down. Even if you're pissed, I'm pissed right now, but I love my body. I'm so grateful for whatever it is. Find something to be grateful for. And if your ego is totally in resistance, I'm not grateful for anything. Well, then that's an invitation to go in and heal, because that's the only way out. And if you need assistance, reach out, grab the book. Keep watching these trainings. Go to my YouTube channel and just notice when you're in resistance. That's the key. You can feel it. And the ego, like, almost a lot of times wants to fight to be in resistance, because that's what it's used to. But when you show it that we can actually have fun and you start to get playful like a little child, that's what we're returning to. We're undoing all this BS 3D matrix programming of it's hard, it's difficult, judgment, struggle. We're leaving all that behind. We're getting excited. We're getting playful. We're remembering how to use the tools. There's millions of people out there that are sharing stuff like this about how to create your reality. Tune in, write it down, practice them. It's what I did. It took me 20 years before I ever wrote this book, actually 17. I never planned on writing a book. I don't have any experience to write a book. And that's why I almost didn't put it out, because my ego, Larry, said, all those books are already out there. It just poo-pooed everything. I was a recording engineer, music guy. I still am. Lived in my studio for 27 years. I had no credentials to write a book. And then one of my friends said, why don't you send me what you have? I'd like to check it out. And Larry was like, oh, fuck, it's just, it's all the same thing. But then I sent it to my friend, and she goes, you have to put this out. This is really, really powerful. I'm like, you think? And so I put it out, and it's taken off. I don't know. I could have never planned that one. I just followed my heart, my frequency. Yeah. Automatic writing is great. Journaling is great. Meditating is great. Mirror exercises. This is what many people, I was going to say most, but words are powerful, and I don't want to create that in a reality that most are doing this. So I just say many people do not do mirror exercises. And I have everybody that goes through the journey do it every single day, because in the beginning, it's one of the things that so many people are resistant to. Because I'll just share with you, when I used to look in the mirror, I'd find everything that was wrong with Jeff. Everything. Shame, guilt, judgment, excuse me, wrinkles, gray hair, whatever. My ego would pick out everything that was wrong. And I just committed to, I love you. I love you, dude. You've been through hell, and you're still hanging in there. And now you're getting more playful than ever. And your heart's open, and you're more relaxed, and you're using the tools, and you're being accountable, and you're tracking your frequency, and you're willing to be vulnerable and honest and share all the stupid shit you did so that other people can know that they're not alone. And so I love you. I love you. And then if the ego goes, yeah, but, and then I go, I love you. And I don't leave the mirror until my I love you is a 100% high five. Yeah, dude, come on. I did a lot of stupid shit, whatever. Forgive me. It was all part of my soul contract, all part of my learning, all part of my stuff. Let's go have a blast today. Let's smile at everybody. Let's be kind and let's be loving. And let's observe the magic that shows up in my reality as a result of that. Doesn't mean that I can erase or forget all the stupid shit I did when I was drinking alcohol or, wrecking cars and motorcycles or being mean and judgmental to other people or myself. Yeah, I did that stuff. But that was part of my learning process. I'm accountable 100%, and now I love myself. Let's get on with the party of why we came here. Okay? So I intend that you find that valuable. I think I'm going to wrap this up unless anybody has a question. Anybody have a question where they've been sitting back like I used to in the 3-day dreaming weekends with my mentor and go, God, I really want to ask this question, but I'm a little bit afraid. I don't want to be judged. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to judge you. In fact, if you ask the question, you will receive so much love. You'll walk away feeling so good. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I finally asked the question. So I'm going to hang on here for a few more minutes. And then maybe you're in the future more than me. I love it. Love you. Thank you for all your support for the wild jungle dogs and all that other thing that I do out here in Thailand. It's amazing. There's so many dogs here. So many that need assistance and so many that are so loving and magical and so aware, and they have senses that are 10 times what a human has. And we silly humans think that we're above animals for some reason. It's really a trip. Really a trip. So any questions? Okay. Let me see. Okay. I just have my notes here. So to me, there's really nothing more important than learning how to monitor and track our moment-to-moment frequency. That's the only game in town, really. I mean, because that encompasses, it takes care of inner healing. It takes care of dismantling the limiting belief system. And it lets us understand how to consciously create our desired reality through feeling it and dismantling and letting go and healing or clearing anything that doesn't allow us to feel worthy, to know that we are God. We are creating all of this. And we can actually really have fun doing it. We can make it a party. Yeah. And when we do, we begin to attract all the other people that already understand that as well. And for those that don't, we can give them a hand up and lift them up. And then the party becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And the frequencies just keep going up, 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 up. And everybody's raised and gifted. And that's why we came here. So, yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm taking an animal communication course right now online. And it's fabulous. It's fascinating. Yeah, there's so much to learn from our animal friends. I'm just so huge lover of all of them. I love it. So, yeah. Okay, so eliminate spell words from your vocabulary. Eliminate want, wish, hope, try, need, difficult, hard. Here's a big one. I saw this like 3 times in the last 2 days. People doing posts, and these are people that are teaching courses on self-empowerment or whatever. And they start out their advertisement or their meme or their course going, are you so sick of do it? Or they'll post a meme that goes, I'm so sick of do it. That's lack of awareness right there. When you tell every one of these trillions of cells, which are consciously aware and they're listening to every single thought, word, and emotion you feel or speak, you tell them, I'm so sick. And again, these are spell words. These people don't even realize what they're doing. Why? Because they are being guided by the frequency. And they haven't learned to track the awareness of that and go, never, ever tell yourself that you're so sick. And never use the word OLD ever again. Ever. Somebody asks you how OLD you are, you say, I'm 50 years young. They go, what are you young? Oh, I like that. Yeah, you start to tell every one of your cells, you give them the instruction that you're OLD. Yeah, watch what happens. You're going to create that reality. I know people that are 80, 90 years young, and they have more enthusiasm and more awareness than people that are half their age. Yeah, be very careful of these spell words. Eliminate them. Absolutely. Positive affirmations are great. However, affirmations do not work if you have not gone in and cleared your limiting and healed your limiting beliefs. You can do affirmations for 1,000,000 years. I paid tens of thousands of dollars for every course, every book, The Secret, Think and Grow Rich, EFT tapping, money comes to me easily, and that never worked, ever, until I figured out that I was holding limiting beliefs from my childhood that came from my mom and my uncle who had 8 kids in the Catholic Church, which is all about lack and fear around money and the programming of the government and the system. I had to go in and clear that. So doing affirmations is great if you really feel them, and you feel it is already here, just like I talked about through this whole thing. However, if you have any limiting beliefs that's money's hard, it's difficult, I'm not worthy of a great partner or money, then you can do 1,000,000 affirmations all day long, and it's not going to override the lower frequency beliefs or wounds or energies that you're holding. So get really clear on that, because that's something they never tell you in The Secret, but they do tell you in the Waking Up in the Dream book. So yeah, definitely not at all. You're timeless, 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 timeless. So, okay. So we still have 10 people on here. I don't know if we have more. I don't know if that's accurate or if it's manipulated or whatever. Why don't we do a little flute thing real quick before I go? And what we'll do is we will keep it real simple, put our hand on our heart, breathe in, smile, and give love to every single one of these trillions of cells that's been loving on us since we've been in the womb, that loves on us unconditionally, even when we're asleep. I mean, that's pretty magical. Your body runs flawlessly while you're asleep. Who's running this stuff? Beating your heart, purifying your blood, growing new cells. All your cells regenerate like every 90 days. So you're definitely not OLD. So we're going to do that. We're going to love on ourselves. And then when I hit the Tibetan bell, we'll just blast it all out to the planet and thank everybody for perfectly playing their roles. No matter what they're doing, we forgive them all. And let's get this party started. Big love, everybody. All right, here we go. Hand on your heart, smiling, loving on your body. See how much you can love on your body and track. What I do is I track from the top of my head and even above, and I just scan my entire body for any tension, any tightness, and I thank my eyes, my ears, my brain, my nose, sense of smell, sense of taste, my heart, my fingers for playing guitar, flute, allowing me to eat, everything. And just scan and really see how much you can love on yourself, maybe more than you ever have before. Just play with it. Have fun. Get excited. Don't allow the judge to come in, and notice if he does, and just love on it. All right, here we go. Are you smiling? Now we're going to blast it out to the entire planet with gratitude, thanking Mother Earth, thanking everybody for being our teachers. And carry that with you into your dream state. Program yourself before you go to sleep to create your ideal reality. Give your subconscious exact instructions that anything you desire is already here now. And then do it again, first thing in the morning tomorrow when you wake up. And as many times throughout the day as you can remember, set alarms on your phone, use the tools. Because conscious awareness is the only game in town. And if you're not consciously programming and creating your reality, it will be created for you through the external distractions, which you can see right now happening to overtake everybody's mind. So send everybody love. Carry that frequency with you everywhere you go with an open heart. You don't even have to say anything to anybody to consciously affect the field. And that's the beauty of this dream. So big love. Thanks, brother. Thanks, Jacob. Yeah. Okay. And this will be on my Facebook page. If you missed it, you're just joining us. You can come back and take notes, begin to put the tools into play. If anybody has any questions. Oh, I forgot to say, every month, I journey with a handful of people, and I take them through this 30-day mentorship. And not only do we do a call every week, but I'm in contact with the people that put their trust in me at least every other day, if not every day. And we are mirroring, and we're going back and forth, and they're watching the PowerPoint trainings, going through the book, tracking. My door is open in Messenger, and we are just blasting and dismantling and undoing anything that's limiting us. We're mapping out our desires, new businesses, moving out of 3D programming, creating new opportunities. And it's the most powerful journey that I know of. And so if anybody's interested in doing this, I'm happy to get on a call with you. It's not a sales call. I'm not going to try and close you because I do not want you to come into it unless you're absolutely committed, because I do not want to have to drag anybody up a hill for 30 days. And it's why I only journey with 4 or 5 people, because that's all the bandwidth I have every month. So if you're interested in that, come journey. Hey, Pat, great to see you. You can go back and watch the replay if you want. And yeah, here's one testimonial from an amazing person that went through the course. Changed my life more than any other book or course I invested in 20 years. I know you guys have invested in a lot of stuff. This is so simple and so focused on the 3 necessary areas: inner healing, dismantling the belief system and all the automatics, and then consciously creating your reality. And the tools and the trainings are set up, and I'm there mirroring you, and it's fun. There's nothing difficult or hard about it. It's a fabulous journey. I was able to undo programs and beliefs that were running underneath the surface that I was not even aware of, and I thought I was awake. My ego would defend and justify them again and again, the automatics. That's what happens until we use these tools. So, super grateful. I was able to heal deeply hidden wounds and dismantle so many limiting beliefs and subtle reactionary programs. These are the kinds of testimonials that just make everything that I do so worthwhile. So if that resonates with you, get in touch. And thank you to anybody and everybody that shares these in other groups, for anybody that you feel that would benefit. And I don't know anybody that wouldn't benefit from this stuff. I don't say that with an ego. I'm just a goofy dude like everybody else, doing my best, staying excited, and this stuff works. So big love from Thailand. I'll be back on Thursday, US, 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Any questions, reach out or pop them in here. I'll come back later on to scroll through the comments. Big love. Have an incredible day or evening wherever you're at, and stay excited. That's one of the highest frequencies, because you came here for this and it's happening. Know it. Get excited.